Hi, everybody. Here we are again in our IAC interview series, meeting people that are behind the scenes at IAC. And today we are with Laurie. Welcome, Laurie. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for doing this, and it's so much fun.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very curious and wanting to know more about you and also for people to know more about you. Would you like to tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're at?
Okay. Okay. Well, obviously, you know my name. It's actually Laurie. Sometimes people call me Laurie Ann, and Persch is a married name. Uh, the uh, and I have been a counselor for about 40 years now, and
Great.
I'm in the Washington D.C. area. And my role with IAC is now co-coordinator. I facilitate the Country Ambassador Program together with Jane Weber. Before that, I was a participant and a conference attendee and a presenter. So,
Wonderful. Thank
a
you.
brief intro.
Yeah. And how did you get into IAC and how was that for you?
Well, I love travel. And the very first time I heard about IAC, I was on a counseling delegation to Vietnam and Cambodia with Cortland Lee. Cortland Lee is one of the past presidents of IAC, and he talked it up, and it sounded really, really interesting to me. And then when I got home from the counseling delegation, I don't, you know, we misconnected for the sign up. I was in touch with him, but more about our follow up to that counseling delegation. And then it was more recently, I must have just gotten an email, advertising something, and so it was a light bulb went off, and oh no, I didn't sign up. I need to sign up.
Mm.
And I was so glad I did. I went to an international conference. And then I also connected when I was presenting with our current CEO. I was at a conference in New Orleans about ethics, and Nisha was presenting. He was presenting, it was a conference sponsored under the auspices of Ted Remley, another big member of IAC. So I was very happy to meet some of the leaders.
That's wonderful. And what is it that you like or feel attracted about IAC?
Well, I like that IAC in a way is generic because it's very, very inclusive. What I mean by generic is that it includes all kinds of counseling with a very broad definition. And it's because counseling means different things to different people, not only within one country, but it means different things across the world, but it's all about helping. And I speak a couple other languages. So sometimes the word counseling, is, it just means advice or helping, and so it may just mean being of help and giving advice, so I like that it's inclusive that way. And one of my interests, because I, at a young age, got interested in languages and cultures, is in specialty areas as a counselor even, is that cross-cultural work. And so I think it's really important. IAC has a broad appeal for people all over the world.
Totally. Thank you. And talking about the cultural differences and the understanding of counseling, you said that you facilitate a program at IAC for ambassadors, country ambassadors. Would you tell the people who are
Yes.
watching about this project?
The hopefully it's IAC members who know a little bit already about IAC, but maybe some new people as well. And IAC, even though it's I think it's a 50-year-old initiative, but we're constantly evolving. And so there's some new programs. And as the world gets smaller and more telehealth, IAC every other year feels new. So it's a relatively new program to get the word out about IAC across the globe. And it is what initially IAC, because it is for international work, and looking at counseling across the globe, we didn't have formal counseling in every country across the world. And so it would try to figure out, that's like the World Mapping Project that IAC may be known for, is looking at where does counseling exist, in what format, where, how, and the members of IAC, we would come from different areas, and it was divided into regions around the world. But as we've grown, it's been really too hard to have just regions, because every country has their own spin and has their own unique needs. Even just states within a country and different ethnic groups within the country might have different needs. So the Country Ambassador Program is looking to get liaisons, spokespeople, leaders from each country, to try to be a promoter, cheerleader, representative, customer service agent, all those things rolled into one, to help people, counselors and people who need counseling in their specific countries, to funnel information back and forth with IAC.
Great. And how has this experience been for you so far, helping in this area and getting those ambassadors?
Yeah, it's, sometimes a slow process, but it's been picking up speed. And all the people who have become ambassadors so far are, because we just got it off the ground in this past year. So that everybody is trying to figure out what, how they can do the work right after, the ambassador program started before the pandemic hit, and then the pandemic hit. So to try to, on the one hand, the need for counseling is greater, but the way we do marketing and get the word out and pull people together is now different. So people are getting used to the Zoom meetings like this for the interview, and some people get tired of them. But the Zoom meetings, it's trained me, and I love having met so many people who are so dedicated, and it's inspired me.
Great. I was thinking about your 40-year practice, and having for 40 years being in the counseling profession and meeting so many people, what would you tell the new members and the counselors who are starting their practice? What would be, I don't know if your advice or just your sharing, what would that be?
I'm trying to, I remind people I train, people I supervise, that the most important thing of being a counselor is building rapport and being genuine. So you can make mistakes. You don't have to worry about finding the absolute one right technique, but you have to show you're caring. And if you can build a rapport as a counselor and be genuine in knowing that you're a partner versus you're an absolute authoritarian expert, or you're just a blank slate pillow, you're neither, so it's being a counselor is being a partner and being present with people. And I think that's the most important thing.
Thank you for that. I think it's
my opinion.
A very beautiful reminder. And I guess it matches a lot what you have been saying about IAC, which is basically welcoming and trying to understand different views about the same profession, and making also people feel that they can be part with their own perspective when they're looking for a community of counselors to work with. So I think what you're sharing is very similar to also what you are doing at IAC and what IAC's mission is.
Thanks.
Thank you. Is there anything else that you would like to share with the people who are watching this video?
Well, I hope that people will also join, if they haven't, also maintain their commitment to the profession. And as much as I'm a counselor, I'm proud of being a counselor, and we want to have an identity as a counselor, kind of going back to what I said about the mission of IAC, lots of professions do some form of counseling. And so I want us to be, I think it's great for us to collaborate, not only in terms of other people who call themselves counselors, but other people in the healing professions and the helping professions, and to be careful of turf wars.
Thank you.
Because we are a global world and we share many issues. So, and I think IAC represents that pretty well.
Yeah, and I think that you do too. So thank you, Laurie, for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for giving me your time and giving everybody who's watching this video your time. It's very valuable, and we really appreciate learning more about you and about, who's behind all this work for IAC. So thank you. Thank you for your time, Laurie.
Great. And I will say, gracias, merci, toda rabba, grazie. And that's about it.
You're full of surprises, Laurie. Thank you. Gracias también.
Yeah. Okay. So being more global for with the languages.
Yeah, we'll get there. Thank you, Laurie.